Let's see what this week brings in terms of game development. Running a game development business is oftentimes just sitting behind your computer creating games, but every now and then you need to do a bunch of other stuff. Let's just see what this week brings. Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel. Welcome to another video where I have no clue if this video actually becomes a full video right now. It's Monday and I'll just record bits and pieces throughout my week, and on Thursday it goes live. Apparently it went live because else you wouldn't be seeing this, but right now I have no idea where we end up. This should be fun. So it's now Monday, which means this is my admin day, and that sounds serious, but a lot of Mondays it's really not a lot of things I need to do, but I try to schedule the boring stuff on Mondays. And right now this Monday that means going through an agreement, which can be boring but has to be done. That's just it can be daunting when you get a first agreement. I've been doing it for a while now. I've seen a lot of these things, and it's just really understanding the wording and understanding what's meant and finding the important things in an agreement. And then I just make notes in a little text file of certain things that are maybe not clear to me, or maybe discuss changes in them. Usually you shouldn't just sign stuff. Make sure you read through it and figure out if the worst case scenario is still a good scenario for you. That's really what it comes down to in most cases. And then it's going to be back and forth until we sign it and it's a done deal. I can't talk about the deal, I think, not yet, right now, maybe in the future, but it could be a very good deal for Orangepixel. I'm gonna find out in the long run. It's gonna be a long-term thing. We'll find out. So not a huge amount of things that needed back and forth thing. Is that a sentence? Not sure. But that's done. That leaves me with one task that doesn't happen a lot of times in my job. I need to chase money. Yeah, normally I get paid by Steam automatically pays, Google Android store pays automatically, Apple pays automatically. All these platforms, Nintendo, whatever, they all pay automatically, give you nice reports every month. That's not a problem. However, I also do YouTube, and I had a sponsored video back in November, October, I think. I haven't gotten money for that one yet. I think the agreement said 16 days. I'll look that up, which is very long, but there was an intermediate service. So I'm guessing they had 30 days to get their money from the client and then 30 days to pay me. However, we're now at the end of January, nearing the end of January. I'm just going to send them an email to make sure that I'm still on their books or lists of payments to be done. Just to be sure. I'm not sure I can disclose it, but it's an interesting sum. It's 4 figures. It's interesting enough to actually chase that and make sure the money comes. So I'm gonna write them an email. Should take me like 5 minutes, maybe less. And that actually then also completes my admin day. So it's not a lot of work. I also have to mail a couple of things to my accountant. So there's a little bit more to do, but not a huge amount of work. But if I do all those things on my Monday, it means the rest of the week I'm free to create games. And that's still the most fun thing and the reason I do this. Creating games. So it's Tuesday morning now, and this is a bright light in the morning. Time to do a little work on Space Grunts. Up to this point I've been focusing on creating all the systems and all those things, trying to avoid creating all the content because that can be added at any point and is not the key thing to see if this game works. However, I've been looking at the same world graphics for so long now, playtesting this game. I need something to refresh the game for my own while I'm working on it. So today I'm gonna try to create a new tile set. And for those that don't understand what a tile set is, it's like in your bathroom, having all those tiles make up the wall, except if you change the look of a certain tile, you can create patterns that look like a level. I think that's the best way to describe it. So these are the graphics that make up the wall and pretty much the whole level that you move around in. I'm going in without any clear idea, just that it's a sci-fi game, so it has to be alien, spaceshipy type vibes. Now when you write code, you know what you're going to create, and you just know once it works, it's done. As long as it doesn't work, you need to fix it. With art and graphics, yeah, you don't always have a clear idea of what you're going to create. Right now I know I need to create a tile set that fits in the science fiction space scene, but I don't really have any idea. So I'm just gonna start with the walls, the easy walls, and then from there on create corners, and we'll see where it ends up. And that's pretty much how it works. It could actually fail. I might create something that just doesn't look right. Some days I create graphics that just work and I can just create a bunch of animated creatures and all those things. Other days I'll just sit there, start drawing something, and nothing really looks like I want it to, and then I'll give up. So we're gonna give this a try. Let's see where it ends up. So this is really just an attempt to see if I can create something, and if it fails I'll try it again another day, but it would be cool to have some extra art there already. So let's see where it ends up. Alright, so graphics are done. Of course I have to do all those side graphics, those separate tiles, but let's first see how it looks in the game. I already booted up the game with the new graphics. This is the title menu. Let's go into a level and see what happens. Alright, yeah. So first idea is that it does look like an alien type area. Not so happy with the stuff on the roof of the tiles at the top, all those bright squares. The idea is good, but I think they are too bright. Maybe they should be darkened or something. I have to look into that. I haven't changed the lighting yet, so these are the lights that are from the original tile set. And they kind of work actually, which is interesting because I changed certain lights from red to blue and vice versa without changing the light. So now we have a red glow on top of blue, and yeah, well, that turns into green obviously. I don't hate it. I might just tweak and change it and perfect it over time. Also, let's see how this looks when we have a darker environment. I'm trying to go for a little bit of a spooky type alien setting. So maybe darkness can be more interesting. Oh, world has power should be false, of course. We don't want power, we want lights off, darkness. Okay, let's go to a more dark area and see how that works out. Yeah, then I hate the stuff on the rooftops a lot less. So this, in theory, looks better, but I just died. Not bad. Quick attempt at a tile set. This took me like maybe 20 minutes, I think. It needs perfecting and it needs some extra tiles, so it will take another 20 minutes to get those things up and running. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. It looks like an alien setting. I might actually do another tile set just because I'm having fun with this and it's fun to dive into some graphics. Or maybe we'll create something else. So decided to draw a little extra, it's not an enemy, it's a little entity, little animated turret that you'll be able to collect as a pickup item and then drop at certain tactical or strategic places, and it will shoot at enemies for you. That's the idea. First just had to draw and animate it. First attempt I did was actually too big. It was bigger than the player, and I don't want it to be bigger than the player. It's a small tiny thing that the player is supposedly carrying with himself. It had to be smaller, so I created a smaller version, then started doing the animation, and then the next phase is adding the code, which I have just finished and wrapped up. Took a little bit of work. I have to admit that I'm not 100% happy yet with this current version. I might change it eventually to improve it here and there, but it works, and that's the main thing. It wasn't wasted time. It actually looks nice. So this is how it looks in game. This would be a not activated one or an inactive one. It won't be triggered by me because I'm the guy or the person responsible for putting it there. But what happens if we have aliens nearby? Let me see, let me place one right here and then get out of there. It will detect aliens nearby. Right now, what I don't like, although in a sense it works, is that it actually takes a certain couple of steps or turns to rotate towards the enemy, which means in most cases those enemies will be gone. Well, it does work if they happen to move into his visor. So I don't know, maybe this could be like the simple version, and then we can have an upgraded version which does much faster rotation and instantly turns towards the enemies, shooting lasers at them. So this could be like a first version, and then we'll do an upgraded version later on. I think that could work. It's not bad. We'll keep it in the game. Now I just have to make sure the player can actually collect these, or maybe unlock them as a reward for missions, and then able to place them anywhere. Next idea would be to destroy that one, to see if we can actually pick them up again once they're placed. That would be a very cool feature. A little bit later now, I also decided to add a little item called a field teleporter. Now, I've decided to make teleportation spots in the game pretty important, because there's a turn countdown, and that's really a key part of the game now, and these teleporters also reset those turns. Now, these teleporters cannot be found everywhere. They are at certain locations, and if you're at a higher difficulty, there will be less of them. So I decided that field teleporters could save the player a lot. You could place them in certain rooms that you think is a safe area. You could even set it up with turrets around it. So if there's an invasion happening, you teleport over there, turrets defending you. That would be a pretty cool situation. Not sure that's actually going to be in the game, but imagine. Anyway, those field teleporters are now in the game, and they work pretty well. So productive day so far, but we're also nearing the end of the afternoon. I'll probably dig into either another item, see if I have stuff on my list of ideas, or I'll start creating a new tile set, and that will most likely wrap up my work for Tuesday. And now it's Wednesday. I actually ended up yesterday drawing another tile set. It looks pretty cool, and I also started this morning creating another tile set. So we now have 4 variations of environments. Now I have to actually sort out so that those environments fit certain missions and certain enemies, and all those things have to come together. But we have a lot more content now than we had at the start of the week, so that's pretty cool. I also made a small modification to the original tile set we created yesterday. So I made these rooftop things less apparent. I think this looks better. This is the tile set I created yesterday. Didn't record it, but you now know the process of creating these tile sets. It's just drawing all these walls and then making them look as good as possible. And we also now have a completely different tile set, which will be used for some off-world type stuff. So some ancient areas that has overgrown, nature has overgrown everything. Not sure if this is just going to be some sort of cave, or I should stop doing this in my videos. Stop getting killed in my videos. Okay, it looks pretty interesting, and I wanted to go for a little, well, all this overgrown stuff. Actually, let me show you how I did this, because I can now use this on all tile sets. I created an extra layer, and I could like grab the layer, and then like this tile set could also have an overgrown version. And this way I could create a bunch of tile sets of various states of a certain space station or moon base. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it like that, but it's possible. So it's always a good idea to create certain things as separate layers in your art program. That's just probably the tip I wanted to give here. And then the day just flew by, got away from me. I've been all over the place in code for Space Grunts, making it hard to record because I was doing bits and pieces here and there, and no clear vision or goal. Just doing a bunch of things. I think the result is a lot better. One big change I did was I had a lot of missions, or I was about to work on adding a lot of different type of missions, but the missions I had didn't really make any difference to the gameplay. It felt very empty. Collect this item or collect that item. It's pretty much the same mission. So I took the executive decision of going with one type of mission, and that's close the hypergate, which makes sense in the whole lore of Space Grunts and everything in Orangepixel universe. There are hypergates, they are open, and that's what's causing all the chaos. close it. And in the game design, it now feels calmer. There were things going on that I then have to explain to the player. Now I don't have to. There's just a hypergate. You start at a certain point, you go into a mission, be it a space station or a spaceship or a moon base or whatever. Your task is simple, close that effing hypergate. Besides that, I did a redraw or reanimation of this little robot thingy I had. I think earlier in the video you can actually see the first version of this little robot that says which missions there are available. It was very static, very simple. Decided to create a bigger one, and he will also give you extra information during the game, and we can now add tutorial or instruction type things to his repertoire of speech thingies. There's a system built around all of that, which was very boring to record, so it's now in the game, but that also means my Wednesday flew by. So I'm not sure, maybe I'll draw another tile set, because it looks like I'm in a good art flow this week, so I might just use that to relax this last hour of the day. And I'll wrap up the video tomorrow morning, as I have to edit this, create a thumbnail and upload it so that you can actually view it right now. But I'll do that later. So this pretty much ends my Wednesday. And it's now Thursday, but I don't have much to add to the video. Have to edit this video, obviously. It has to go live in a few hours from now. Have to upload it, thumbnail, all those things. So I simply have to wrap up this video, or else it's not gonna be online. Next week, I have no idea what I should talk about. If you have any idea for topics or something, drop them in the comments below. Because normally I would record or talk about the things I've done the week before. But since you just watched everything I did this week, I could just re-upload this video. It would be the same. So maybe I'll come up with something before next week, but right now I have no idea. So ideas for a good video topic are welcome for next week. If you have nothing else to add, but you have been watching up to this point, this week's keyword, alien. Put aliens in the comments below so that I know you have been watching up to this point. For all those idle people and those quiet watchers, drop that in the comment below. It helps me boost these videos, and it also shows me that people are actually watching the video, which is great and good to know. So drop alien in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have an idea for next week's video, please drop that in the comments below as well. And hopefully I'll see you next week. All right, bye.